Des Moines police say there has been a trend in the last 24 hours when it comes to calls they're taking. Local 5's Mary Sugden joins us in studio to explain what officers have been seeing and a program hoping to bring that number down.
Yes, Stephanie, Des Moines police say in the last 24 hours, 10% of all the calls that they've received have been domestic violence issues. Now, I spoke with a professor at Iowa State University who's developed a program directly targeted at these violent offenders, and so far it's seeing successes in some of our prisons.
Most prisons in the U.S. use something called the Duluth model, a program of nonviolence classes for men who are domestic violence abusers.
So it really was cutting edge that Iowa was willing to try something else and kind of push the boundary.
Iowa State professor Amy Zarling created ACTIVE, a program aimed at reducing recidivism among these violent offenders. In 2010, the Iowa Department of Corrections decided to pilot the program. Since then, it's scaled up its use across the state. The program is different by taking a trauma-informed approach to understand offenders.
They experience an average of 4 to 5 traumatic events. You know, the average for the general population is more like 1.
The program takes a holistic approach to address factors that could lead to violence, issues like childhood trauma or mental health issues. So far, it's seeing successes.
Victims of ACT participants report significantly fewer physically aggressive behaviors, controlling behaviors, and harassing behaviors than victims of participants who went through the Duluth model.
Zarling says keeping these men from reoffending not only prevents abuse, but also prevents future offenders.
Most of these men do have children. Children are in the home, and witnessing violence in the home is one of the most significant predictors of intergenerational violence.
Many of us have been police officers for decades, so you'll see families and you get to know their young children, and you'll sometimes watch their children grow up, and you do see these patterns repeat themselves in behavior.
A drop in domestic violence would be a game changer for police.
It's something that requires a lot of our resources. We don't have a problem or an issue dedicating that. Anything, though, that would reduce those numbers of calls is definitely going to be something that we can get behind.
And Zarling tells me she'd like to expand the program out of Iowa DOC to make it something that's within the community. And the goal there is that it would prevent offenders from existing and ending up in our prison systems altogether. In the studio, Mary Sugden, Local 5 News. We are Iowa.
Mary, thank you. And active participants had about half the rate of violent and nonviolent charges like robbery or drug charges compared to those in the Duluth model.